think I'll go ahead and wrap up this video at this point. It appears I haven't gotten a whole lot done on these bedsides. What has slowed me down is availability of some of the parts. There's a piece of angled steel that goes along the, it's welded to the insides of the beds, goes on top of the wood. Well, that's back ordered. Last I heard, got another 30 days to wait on that. This is, I don't know how many pieces I'm gonna have to replace on this bedside, but I am taking my time, trying very hard not to warp the metal. And so far, this is the back of the welds, and that looks pretty darn good. But working on the winch, got it assembled, almost. I said, waiting on availability of parts. There is a handle here that shifts it in and out. Waiting on that. And the U-joint that goes on the end of that, which I had to cut apart. Waiting on that. But I think I'll be able to drop it in the truck pretty soon. Next big job is going to be the PTO rebuild. That I may pull it out today, but I thought that'd be a good place to put that in the next video. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, I've got both of the fenders, the major work done and painted, so I can put them up and work on something else. So I'm trial fitting, assembling this winch, finding the right nuts and bolts, etc. I want to mention up here, this supposed to be vented up at the top. The original one that I pulled out was not. If it's not vented, it'll heat up and push all the gear oil out, which I'm sure is what happened. But yeah, just assembly is not too terribly complicated. You will have different size gaskets, and you'll have to figure out what thickness you need so that you'll have the right clearance in there. All this is in the documentation, but basically fill it in until you've got enough freedom to turn it, but it's not flopping around. That's generally. The clutch band just kind of pops on there. I don't know how to adjust this properly yet. That is in the documentation. Yeah. So basically, I still have yet to put a gasket in here. Get it all cleaned up, get the oil and grease off of it, and shoot it with some paint. And then we'll be ready for the next step to assemble the rest. Further reassembly here. This ring goes on next. Make sure that this slides on nice and easily where it's supposed to before you go any farther. What I had to do here before I put these in is just use a little flat file in this area on the shaft, so this would slide back and forth nice and easy. So it's just metal getting beat up around and stuff, so not too bad. So it should be just like that. Put a little grease on there. I had to use a flat file just to touch up a couple things so it would slide on there just like that. So the PTO shaft to drive the winch, I had to cut this U-joint in half to get it apart. So I've got a new one coming, but I've got to get the remains of this one off, starting with heat. Nope. Heating, drilling didn't work. Finally had to grind through it, hopefully chisel that loose and get the whole thing. What the heck am I doing? I stripped all the bumper stuff off. Basically cleaning, treating, painting. I'm doing a little bit of straightening, but I'm waiting until I've got a buddy with an acetylene torch and a chain and a tree. I think is going to be the most effective way to straighten out these bumper pieces. But I'll put them back together with brand new bolts. An historic occurrence. I used an easy out on this broken grease fitting, and it actually worked. It got it out. So hopefully this new one I put in, there will be enough clearance for it, because this is very close to the winch. And we'll see when I get done. Cleaning up this front cross member. And using shot vac and compressed air to clean out all the crap inside their mouse nests, rust, scale, etc., etc. And found a couple of holes that I'll have to repair at some point. Just trying to get it so I can get some of that Eastwood treatment on there. This is just about ready to drop the winch in. I don't have them all tight, but brand new grade 8 nuts and bolts. Had to make 2 trips to fasten off to get those. Got this front cross member pretty well treated and ready to go. I've seen a couple people ask on these differentials. That is the drain plug. Tiny little drain plug. People have a hard time finding them. But anyway, if you're wondering,